The U.S. and Ukraine made a deal. Kamala Harris returned to the spotlight. And we have some good news for a funny-looking amphibian. That's some of what we'll get to on the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell, back from my vacation and the flu. It's Thursday, May 1st. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. The U.S. and Ukraine announced the signing of a contentious minerals deal. The deal establishes a joint investment in Ukraine's mineral wealth, oil, gas, and other natural resources. It provides no concrete security guarantees to Ukraine, but it does give Ukraine the show of support it has wanted from the U.S. in its war with Russia. This deal has been rewritten a few times, and it was briefly abandoned after an Oval Office blow-up between President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky back in February. This version of the deal nixes old language that would have set up Ukraine to reimburse Washington for past U.S. military aid. Instead, it says that future military aid can be considered part of American contributions to a reconstruction fund. Trump has suggested that Ukraine's minerals could be worth trillions, but their true value is unknown, and they will be difficult and expensive to extract, especially as the war rages on. Number 2. Former Vice President Kamala Harris gave her first major speech since leaving office. Speaking at a gala in California last night, Harris marked Trump's first 100 days in office by condemning his policies and his leadership. Harris called Trump's new tariffs reckless. She called his demands unconstitutional. And she said Trump and his allies were trying to stoke a climate of fear to silence his dissenters.
They are counting on the notion that if they make some people afraid, it will have a chilling effect on others. But what they have overlooked, is that fear is not the only thing that's contagious. Courage is contagious.
Harris is considering a run for governor of California. Her speech comes at a moment of deep anger and frustration within the Democratic Party. And it came on the same day a report on gross domestic product revealed that the U.S. economy is shrinking. The GDP report shows that Trump's tariffs are starting to take a toll, and that the threat of a recession is inching closer. Number 3. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will require a big change in how vaccines are tested. In a radical change from past practices, the health secretary will require all new vaccines to undergo placebo testing. That's a procedure in which some people receive a vaccine and others receive an inert substance like a saline shot before the results are compared. Vaccines for new pathogens are often tested this way. But for well-researched diseases such as measles and polio, public health experts say that approach makes little sense. It could even be unethical because the placebo group would not receive a known effective intervention. The Department of Health and Human Services says the change will increase transparency. But medical experts fear it could limit access to vaccines and undermine the public's trust in immunization. Number 4. The Supreme Court signaled it was open to taxpayer-funded religious charter schools. Justices yesterday heard oral arguments in a case that could redraw the lines between church and state in the U.S. The court's conservative majority appeared willing to allow the creation of the nation's first public religious charter school in Oklahoma. A ruling for St. Isidore of Seville Catholic Virtual School could reshape American education. It would, for the first time, allow direct and complete taxpayer funding to establish a faith-based school. And it would sanction government sponsorship of a curriculum that calls for students to adhere to Catholic beliefs and the Church's religious mission. Erica Wright is one of the plaintiffs in the case. She spoke to the Associated Press last month.
I don't want my tax dollars going to fund religious schools that don't align with my theology.
Yolanda Chandler supports the religious charter school. Here she is speaking at a rally outside the court yesterday.
This moment, this rally, is about something far greater than the case before us today. It's about whether America truly believes in freedom or only when it fits a certain mold. Let's be clear. When courts and policymakers start deciding whose values get funded and whose don't, we all lose.
A decision in this case is expected by the end of June. Israel has redrawn the map of Gaza in the past 6 weeks. That's our fifth story. Since breaking a ceasefire with Hamas, Israeli forces have pushed Palestinians out of about 70% of the territory. According to the United Nations, they've done it by declaring vast parts of the enclave either a military red zone or under evacuation. That has pushed hundreds of thousands of Palestinians into ever-shrinking pockets. Israeli officials have signaled they do not intend to relinquish this territory. Palestinians in Gaza have been under a total siege for 2 months. No food, fuel, aid, or commercial goods have entered Gaza in that time. Residents say they are surviving on 1 meal a day or less. Meanwhile, in Israel, out-of-control wildfires have forced evacuations and could threaten Jerusalem. Check out our site for the latest developments. Number 6. A big Pacific Northwest earthquake could cause land to sink in minutes. The Pacific Northwest is overdue for a major earthquake. A new study this week revealed that it could lead to catastrophic damage beyond that caused by tremors and tsunamis. An earthquake in the Cascadia subduction zone with a magnitude greater than 8.0 could cause a sudden subsidence. That means the sinking of land. And the predictions are significant. Coastal land could sink nearly 7 feet. Paired with rising sea levels, that would lead to severe flooding. Coastal communities would be permanently altered. So that's something to think about if you're considering buying beachfront Oregon property. And at number 7, a new study offers hope for a beloved and critically endangered species. If you've never seen an axolotl, imagine a smiling, chubby, frilly-faced amphibian with an otherworldly vibe. Its quirky looks have endeared it to fans worldwide, and its ability to regrow its organs have made the species very interesting to medical researchers. But the axolotl is in trouble. A single lake in Mexico City is its only remaining natural habitat. That's why a new study reveals some good news for our frilly-faced friends. Axolotls that were bred in captivity and released into that Mexico City lake survived. Usually in conservation programs, captive-bred animals don't fare so well when they're released into wild habitats. So the axolotl's success is a sign that scientists may be able to help the adorable amphibians regain their foothold in the wild. If you'd like to see what an axolotl looks like, and trust me, you do, check out our newsletter today. Find a link to that, as always, in our show notes. All right, you're all caught up. But before you go, a reminder that if you're a subscriber to The Washington Post, you can get access to our shows ad-free in Apple Podcasts. All you have to do is find the Washington Post channel in Apple Podcasts and connect your Post subscription. Then stay tuned for more subscriber-only audio benefits, like exclusive and early access episodes. If you're not a subscriber, this is a great time to start. You can sign up at our channel in Apple Podcasts or through the link in our show notes. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.
My name is Michelle Singletary, and I'm the personal finance columnist for The Washington Post. When I was growing up, I was raised by my grandmother, who was such a masterful money manager. And I watched her handle her money and talk to me about it. And I like to think that I'm the reader's big mama. There's so much information about your money out there, a lot of it wrong or inappropriate. But when you pay for a subscription to the Post, you're paying for a skilled journalist who has had years of experience, who I hope that you can trust. Your subscription helps pay for my salary. It helps pay for the illustrators, the copy editors, all the people who are involved in putting together the material that you read that could help inform your life. I'm Michelle Singletary, and I'm one of the people behind the Post.